Welcome to FuzzFeed206. This is VesperBat, joined by my colleagues
Project Grizzle
and CPD80, right? Hi, everybody.
Hi.
So, last week we started doing something super awesome, and that was doing Arms Day reviews. Let's do a quick review. Grab some hardware.
Why are you doing this?
Oh, because it's fun.
For your benefit.
That's not what you said last week.
Oh, the weapon was garbage.
Is that your official review?
That is my
The weapon is
that weapon
garbage.
was garbage.
What would the technicians at Omalon have to say?
They should explain themselves because it was trash.
I think you had a Hawkeye. Was it Omalon or Hawkeye? Ooh. Okay, I am totally doing the Omalon test cannon.
How's that feel?
Yep,
Oh,
that's what I got.
You take care of that gun, good.
I can't promise I'm going to use it. I'll use it for the very first phase. Because I am a team player.
I'm gonna go with the Suros.
Woke Howard on the field. Refell.
You know,
The
it's
entire time.
Never gets better.
the Suros I have found is a more elegant weapon for a civilized time. Wouldn't you agree?
Sure.
No? Come on.
No.
Golden Age
Let's
technology.
play video games.
We are playing
No.
video games. Okay, to orbit. Yeah, so instead of doing a couple of daily heroics, Project Grizzle twisted our arm and insisted that we do the Abomination Heist. He insisted that we carry him so he can get some better loot.
Yeah, it went like
So
this.
in that
Hey,
process-
Grizzle, you want to do a nightfall? You want to do a nightfall? Whatever, I don't care.
And now we're gonna do it with weak weapons.
You guys are so funny. Okay, Epic, Berserk, Small Arms, Chaff, and Fresh Troops. It's very hard, Grizzle. Can you handle it? Wait, CPD? Oh yeah, man, we're rocking those test weapons. Yeah, when we get to that first room, with the triptych of locks or whatever it's called, I miss Dinklage. I'll go ahead and switch.
Back out already.
Yeah,
Play it
yeah.
like you mean it. That should be
I
enough.
am
That's a
I am
test
committing
drive.
to not commit to that weapon.
That's seeing everything rattles at highway speeds. You'll be fine.
So, I mean, let's kick off with our agenda real quick. We had a few things we wanted to talk about today. First of all, we had an awesome news conference. CPD is going to take care of that one. I'm going to talk a little bit about follow-up to the news conference on safe consumption, and then Project is going to close off with some additional details regarding the Samaritan Law. So, without further ado, Mr. CPD80. Take it away.
For sightseeing, you two.
Oh,
And the summoning
boy.
pits.
So,
the devil splicers can
over
grab any more abominations for their priests
course
to play around with.
the past few months, we
By
had
play
been
around,
training
you mean torture,
officers to
vivisect, and
use
disembowel.
AEDs. The new AEDs
Yeah.
that we've got in the cars.
But when you put it that
And,
way, I almost feel bad for the hive.
What's an AED?
What's an AED? No, that's a good. Good question.
Yeah, good question.
So why the
An
hell?
AED,
Seems like a dangerous fight.
automatic electronic
The
defibrillator.
splicers
So
are plain God.
it
They view SIVA as a means to reshape
Um,
life how they see fit. The hive are just victims.
You can do this. I believe in you.
Curiosity.
it is a tool that we use as a first responder to help people with a very specific heart issue, one where oh boy, and I'm already
Guardian down.
one where your heart isn't necessarily stopped, but it's gotten an arrhythmia in it that is making it difficult for your body. And that device takes your pulse and monitors your heart in a way that it can then send an electronic shock through your body to reset your heart and get it pumping the way it is meant to. And these things do take a little bit of training, but the new ones are really great because they pretty much walk you through it. And they record everything that's going on around them. So it records the audio. It gives you instructions on CPR. It's got a little metronome in it to kind of help you keep beat as you're doing it, so you aren't incorrectly giving somebody chest compression.
Yeah, it's a robot voice too, right?
Yeah, it is a robot voice.
It's a friendly robot that saves lives.
Robot that saves lives. So, yeah, they're quite helpful in keeping people's hearts beating at a proper pace when they're having trouble.
Yeah, that's good. So CPD, hold up right there. Hold up right there. Hold that thought. Okay. I have to say that the Omelon hand cannon is not cutting it. It's you know, it's got some decent handling, but I am going to switch to a better weapon for this next phase.
I'm disappointed in you.
For the benefit of our viewers. Okay. Carry on, sir.
On to continue on with the AED stuff.
Yeah.
We also had the opportunity to do some training in CPR, chest compressions, doing breathing, rescue breathing in some cases.
We've got Hyde closing in.
And that's more of a refresher for us. We've done a lot of that training in the past.
And we had the news conference at actually Harborview Medical Center, which is our regional trauma center, and it was hosted by Medic One, our friends at the Seattle Fire Department. And I think, you know, one of the things about the life-saving training that we go through with the AEDs, with the CPR, it's all in the spirit of partnership. The fire department and the police department are 100% committed to life safety and, you know, helping people in times of need. And in fact, we just had an employee, Detective Cookie Bolden, who teaches chess to kids, was at a birthday party at a golf course like in Tukwila, Washington, just south of Seattle. And she was able to apply her training, her CPR training, to a person who had, you know, stopped breathing, and, you know, basically saved that person's life. She didn't have an AED. We've got those in our patrol cars. So that was just me jumping in there, CPD.
No, and I mean, I think that's kind of the whole point of this. You don't know when you're going to need to have to use training like that, and it may or may not be while you're on duty. And we have X options, X performance, that we are trained in a way to do that at any given time under these circumstances. It's just another way to ensure that we continue on with that mission.
Yeah, so, you know, just real quick, the AED project, the AEDs that we have here in the Seattle Police Department, you know, those we didn't just get magically. They're not paid for by taxpayers. We actually have a lot to thank to Craig Tall and Penny LeGate. Both Craig and Penny have been 100% committed to the AED program, the AEDs that we have in the cars. A lot of that is because of the very generous support of Craig and Penny. They were there at the news conference. Chief Kathleen O'Toole was at the news conference. The fire department was well represented. We did demonstration. It's on at Seattle PD on Twitter. The whole point here is that we are a department that values people's well-being. We're typically in a position, just based on what we do, to get to places quickly when people are hurt, when people are suffering from these types of things. And having this technology, this automatic defibrillation, I know I didn't pronounce that right, that technology, I am going to hear it tomorrow, believe me, is absolute gold. So many thanks to Craig, Penny, the Seattle Police Foundation for all of their support, the Seattle Fire Department, Medic One, for this amazing partnership. So, yay!
Well, good luck, CPD.
Yeah, man, just come over to me and pop a bubble after you take out that ogre.
Yeah.
And we do have a
do
couple
that.
of viewers. Hello, viewers. So if you have any questions about policing, government, public safety, etc., just type it in. We'll do our best to answer it. We're not stuck to any particular agenda. But we did want to talk about health and safety for this particular episode, episode 12 of FuzzFeed. So next topic, I think appropriately, because again, we're at Medic One and we're talking about saving lives. Oh, the wipe. The wipe.
Good timing there.
Let's let's all stay near the entrance over here. I think that's probably the safest bet.
Cool.
As we've learned from previous opportunities, since we do want to get this done in the 18 minutes remaining. So the next thing we'd like to talk about, of course, is the Mirror Project, which is something that is run by Penny LeGate in memory of her daughter, who died at a very early age due to a heroin overdose. And the Merit Project generously supplies the Seattle Police Department with naloxone, nasal naloxone, which is a life-saving tool. It's something that we have in partnership with the fire department. Our bike officers have it. Other officers are going to have it soon. In fact, I'm available for a revive here at CPD when you have a minute. And we have, in one calendar year, 17 saves, 17 people's lives that have been saved because of this technology. And, here in Seattle, we've talked about it on this program before. We talked about it across all of our social channels. We are in the middle of a heroin crisis. A heroin crisis that drives a number of bad things in our community. Things from needles in parks, property crime, package theft, car break-ins, burglaries, in some cases, robberies. So we are very aware of the damage that is caused to our community by this drug. Our detectives work very hard at intercepting these drugs as they make it to Seattle, as everyone can imagine, and hopefully this does not come as a surprise to anybody. This is something that is a constant struggle, and certainly the supply, despite our best efforts, is meeting demand. We'll continue working against it, but I think we're smart enough to realize that we need to have a multi-tiered approach to the heroin epidemic. And as Project's going to be talking about here shortly, he's going to talk about a very important component of that. The thing that I'd like to mention is in regards to a meeting that I'm going to tomorrow to talk about a program called Safe Consumption. This is something that has never been done in the United States, and it's obviously been done in other parts of the world. And the idea is that looking at heroin addiction as a public health crisis, what can we do differently? Is there something that we can try? Is there something that we can bring to the table that can save lives and get people into treatment, get people connected to social services, get people connected with programs, mentors, anything that can, hopefully keep them from, dying of this very lethal disease. So safe consumption, just because it's been in the news, it's, like I said, going to be talked about tomorrow. And in fact, tomorrow's meeting is going to be with the firefighters union. And so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going with public health. And, our whole position is this is a public health recommendation. With King County and Seattle, we support the county government. We support the city of Seattle. We are government employees, just doing our job in public safety. So we're part of a larger solution here. And with safe consumption, the gist of it, if you will, is that people will have an opportunity to go to a designated space. And again, details have not been ironed out. Location, how, who, has not been ironed out. It's just been agreed upon conceptually that there is a benefit to allowing some users to do so under the supervision of someone who's a trained medical professional, and also someone who would be in a position to provide perhaps social services as needed, as requested. But again, the idea, the primary objective is, life-saving. And, we all know, I'm sure we all know someone, without going into my, my own personal story on this, we all are connected to someone who has struggled with, addiction at some point, whether it's, alcohol, whether it's other drugs. And so this is a pretty serious topic. And heroin, like any other addiction, can be very difficult to battle. The difference here between quitting smoking and quitting heroin is you get incredibly sick when you try to quit heroin, and it can kill you if you get the wrong dose. And the people who we know just in popular culture alone who have died of overdose, there's just too many to count. But celebrated actors, actresses, musicians, etc., and just ordinary folks who are brothers and sisters and sons and daughters. It's taken a toll on our society to the point where the Surgeon General visited Seattle last year to see what we're doing. So safe consumption, it would certainly be an experiment. It's not an opportunity for people to rampantly commit crimes or have dealers show up to a certain neighborhood and say, hey everybody, come get some. It's really all about being smart and having a well-balanced and diversified policy in regards to this particular epidemic. I see CPD's way over there.
Okay, we're both stuck back here.
How am I going to get you, is the question. Oh, I'm just going to play it forward. I think that'll work.
Yes, push forward.
Will that revive us?
I think it does, actually. Yep.
Yeah, it'll bring us through.
So,
we'll find out.
safe consumption, expect to see more about that in the coming weeks, months. Certainly, it's something that we've got our eye on, and again, the idea is to have a net good, not a net negative impact on any one neighborhood. So I think that is it for safe consumption, and I think that ties in really nicely project into the Samaritan Law that you were going to talk about.
Yeah, so Washington State has a Good Samaritan Law. It's called that basically because if you see someone having an overdose, you're having an overdose, you're with someone who is having an overdose, you can contact, you can call 911 without, fear of, I guess, facing criminal charges. It's another one of those moves law enforcement has taken in the last few years to move towards treating addiction like a public health issue. than it is, and this is, that's one of the ways that works. Is if somebody calls and they need help, first and foremost, we want to get them help. Some of our bike officers carry naloxone now. Obviously, we have CPR is always available. That's something our officers have done, in the event someone's having an overdose. And yeah, just, help is what we want to deliver to people. So yeah, if you call 911 because you or someone you know is having an overdose, that's what we're there for, is provide medical assistance, get you, naloxone if we've got it, call for medics if they need it. And, just in the last couple of weeks, we had a couple of different cases of that happening. A couple of gentlemen overdosed. Unfortunately, one of them passed away, and I guess there was two separate incidents. One of the gentlemen passed away, and officers showed up, recovered some of the narcotics that had been used, and made sure that got to the medical examiner for testing. That's something I believe is done as well. There's concern if there's a batch or something going around that is causing people harm. We want to know about that. We want to we put out warnings in the past when there's something going around that people are ODing from, and that can be from a number of causes. I think most recently we've seen, and I'm going to get the pronunciation wrong, so I always do, but fentanyl, which is
fentanyl.
Synthetic narcotic, synthetic opiate, and it's shown up in some overdose cases. It's very strong, I believe, sort of very pure. I'm not a chemist, so I don't know all of the details there, but we've had that show up recently, and it's something we're concerned about. So just know that if you or someone uses something that might put them in a situation like that, make sure they know as well that Washington State, this is a statewide thing, has a Good Samaritan Law, and that they can expect to get assistance and the help they need to make it through, survive, all that stuff.
And that's really important, actually. And, I mean...
I'm up.
Cool. I think I'll come get you, but...
No. Come out and get me. Not that spot.
Oh, no! Drop.
Whoa. Did you just get got again? You did. Oh, you guys.
I'll self-res. It's cool.
Alright.
The ogre and the boom again.
It's good. I got this. But I think the thing that I also wanted to bring up on that is, we see this a lot in policing where something bad happens and people just panic. They go, oh, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go to prison. Someone's hurt. I don't want it to be on me. What do I do? And then they hesitate and they pause. And, someone's life is on the line. And when someone has stopped breathing due to acute overdose, time is of the essence. In fact, time is so critical. Just minutes. Yep, I gotcha. Oh no, I don't have you.
Whoa.
Okay, so go get CPD if you can. Project, he's up.
I'll do what I can. There's
You got this. Good.
Whoa.
And then pop a bubble if you have one, CPD. And get me.
Not yet. Working on it.
Okay. Well, I should be up. Yeah, but time is critical, and I think that's the big point, right? And the Samaritan Law, so if you've got drugs, if someone's, out, don't worry about the drugs. We're not interested in the drugs. That's the last thing we're interested in. We're interested in someone getting to the ER and getting, help that is critical to them surviving that the medical issue. And when it comes to drugs, we deal with serious dealers, and that's kind of like our thing. Not someone who's overdosing and dying, and there's a small amount left over in a needle. That's like the last thing on our mind. So, and hopefully we've conveyed that in this broadcast, because that's truly the priority of any public safety organization, including police, including fire. The fire department's not going to call us and say, "Hey guys, you got some of these, got some drugs here. You might want to take them to jail when they, get done being treated." Yeah, like totally not the case. So, can't be any more clear on that. But yeah, it's a really good program with naloxone. I think the message is getting out, but it bears repeating. It is something that we cannot say enough. So, geez, I think we're actually going to make this Nightfall, guys. Is that what we say before we wipe and have to start over?
Pretty much. I don't know why you do that. Whoa.
Oh, we got this, guys. Little Viking funeral on the ogre. So we still have a viewer. If you have any questions, viewers, let us know. Happy to help. Happy to answer.
Nope.
Hit him with the heavy.
I'm trying.
He's gone. Just die, dude. See you later, ogre. It's been nice knowing you. Alright, so we did it. First chance.
One less abomination we have to worry about.
I'm so proud of Project Grizzle. I didn't think we could do it. And in CPD, I actually had a private conversation later saying, I just don't know what Project's thinking, because, this is a dangerous place being on... What is this? Is this the moon? I don't know.
That's
okay.
No moon.
Someone had to say it.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to conclude our broadcast for this week. We do have some pretty amazing things coming up in the weeks to come that we will certainly advertise in their proper time. Do you have any last words, CPD?
No, just stay safe and enjoy that spring weather that's starting to show up.
How about you, Project?
I would just like it if you guys would call me Thunderlord from now on.
That will never happen.
Come on, please.
I think the Thunderlord handle is already taken.
Man. No, that's all I got. But thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for another week of, this wonderful new visual podcast.
Awesome. Well, have a safe week, everyone. Eyes up, Guardians.